everybody. This is Sandra Bennett, and I'm presenting my research project for the EDRS 8900. And this is a Prezi, and I'm using screencasting, more specifically the Screencast-O-Matic. And my topic was the impact of instructional technology on student learning. Technology integration is generally viewed as a part of the critical mix to prepare our students for a dynamic business world, and which we know today technology plays such an integral part of that. And it has received much more attention in our schools. There's a popular belief that student learning is enhanced through the use of technology, and technology integration was actually mandated by the U.S. Congress in 2001 in conjunction with No Child Left Behind, which, although that is getting less attention nowadays, there's still a push for educators to become technology literate themselves and to effectively integrate technology into their classrooms. So the purpose of this study was to determine true teacher perceptions related to the impact of instructional technology on student learning. While it is true greater numbers of students in our schools are using technology in the classroom, I guess the question is why? Is this because of perceived or real pressures from the district and school leadership, or is there a perception by the teachers that technology does in fact enhance student learning, engagement, and motivation? So this study provided an opportunity to determine, using an anonymous survey instrument, if our teachers see this use of technology as truly beneficial when it comes to student learning. And I did have research questions. There were 7 total, but I'll highlight on 3 of the primary ones. First, what was the impact, or what impact rather does instructional technology have on student learning, or does the use of technology enhance student learning? 2, does technology use in our classrooms increase student motivation to learn, or do they enjoy learning to a greater extent when using it? And 3, based on their experiences in the classroom, do our teachers view that the use of technology makes a difference in student engagement or participation? So my hypothesis, which was based on prior study and the literature review, was that teachers will generally see that there is a positive impact on student motivation and engagement as technology is used in the classroom, and then student learning is ultimately enhanced. As far as methodology goes, the study involved, as I said, an anonymous survey given to teachers who have been routinely using technology in their classrooms. This group of teachers represented approximately 60% of the faculty at Haynesbridge Middle School. So from a staff of 69 teachers, the survey was given to 41. And the survey was of quantitative design to include 15 closed-ended questions in a Google form with a URL. And I used a Likert scale with a preset response options on a scale of 1 to 5, as you see here. As I said, there were 15 questions. It was an online survey, and the teachers went online and responded in the Google form, and the results were immediately available in a Google spreadsheet. And then I copied that data into an Excel spreadsheet in order to do the data analysis. So just like mentioned that as far as reliability and validity is concerned, I recognized from the beginning that the sample size needed to be as large as possible to minimize sampling error. So I planned for the 41 teachers out of the 69 would be 60% of the teachers, and I'd hoped for 36 at least to respond. That was what was anticipated. And my sources told me that this would provide a 95% confidence level or margin of error of 5, which was acceptable. So as far as the analysis goes, once I had the data in the Excel spreadsheet, I used the descriptive analysis tool to calculate the means and standard deviations for each item of the survey. And in order to answer the research question, then I analyzed the strength of the means resulting on each question of the survey, along with the standard deviation for each. So items scoring above a 3.8 were considered a positive response, either agree or strongly disagree, or strongly agree rather. And items scoring under a 3.3 or less would be a not so positive response. Also, I used the data analysis correlation tool to determine a possible statistical correlation between teacher perceptions of student participation or engagement and learning while using technology, as well as student motivation in student learning while using technology. Okay. So moving on to results, the survey results indicated that teachers who responded generally do perceive that instructional technology helps students learn, with one of the highest mean scores of 3.86. Additionally, the results indicated that teachers generally somewhat feel that the technology motivates students to want to learn course content, which answers the second research question. Does technology use in our classrooms increase student motivation to learn? And that had a mean score of 3.64. And then in answering the third research question, do our teachers view that the use of technology makes a difference in student engagement and participation? Generally, they agree that technology does positively impact student engagement with a mean score of 3.82. And then the research question, do our teachers believe instructional technology promotes or develops high-order thinking skills? And most would agree that was a positive score as well. And teachers perceive that technology does enhance creativity in the learning, as indicated by the highest resulting mean score in the survey of 3.95. Okay, and I feel like it's important though to point out that we had 22 teachers out of the targeted population of 41 respond to the survey, which was disappointing but understandable given the time of year and other events that were occurring in the school about that time. So with a sample population size of 41 and a 54% response rate, the margin of error is 14.35, which is much larger than what I had hoped for. So that needs to be taken into consideration when looking at the results. Also, as the data was analyzed, it was noted that 2 teachers out of the 22 that responded with consistent 1s and 2s across the board. And so in looking at a measure of central tendency, the scores of these 2 teachers could be considered like outliers, resulting in a greater dispersion from the mean. And so the data set was skewed to the low side. But using the mode as a measure of central tendency in the median, however, the results were all in the 4 to 5 range. That would be on all survey items. So as I mentioned, there were 2 additional research questions that had to do with correlation. And the first examined the correlation between student motivation and student learning while using technology. And this showed a results with a R value of 0.86. The second correlation was examined between student engagement and student learning. And that resulted in an R value of 0.78. And so as we learned, R values over a 0.70 show us very strong positive relationship. So I would say these both were really significant. So to wrap this up, the results have shown that technology, generally teachers do view that it positively impacts student motivation, engagement, and ultimately student learning. And the implications for the school and the district from these results would be the need or desire to further expand the use of technology, instructional technology, as a matter of policy and also as a matter of teacher practice. And I'd just like to say in closing here that future research will focus on the impact of student learning and performance as we move in our school to a one-on-one or one-to-one iPad implementation. And this will provide students with continuous online access and a multitude of technology applications and other Web 2.0 tools that are available from the online access. So I believe that the survey results indicate, and as supported in the literature, that student learning is and will continue to be positively impacted as technology is infused within the instruction. And our students will therefore be the beneficiaries as their learning and skills are enhanced. And ultimately, we will all benefit as these students apply what they have learned in the years to come in the workforce of the 21st century. Thank you very much.